But banana bread at work, dude? Hell yeah. All right. And that's what's weird today. Oh, we're gonna raise a toast before I forget to the lady in the cow costume begging for money. Like, toast to her weirdness. Her sign said something along the lines of moo moo, I got the goo, or something weird like that, or give me some moolah, or some punny thing like that.
So it was a nice sign, yeah. Moo moo, money. Moo
So a toast to her weird. That was a unique way to beg for money. I'm pretty sure she's from California.
Yes, and Papa Wyrd had an excellent joke for her. It was very utterly ridiculous.
Utterly ridiculous. There's a dad joke for you. Tell me that you're a dad without telling me that you're a dad. Just tell a really, really, really on point dad joke.
You know what's really funny? They don't ever say mom jokes. There's no moms in here.
There isn't, because moms don't joke around. They don't mess around. And they're funny. So, I mean,
Really? I don't know. You gotta explore that one. Can you be nurturing and funny?
absolutely.
Okay. Well then why don't they say mom jokes?
Have some decent jokes.
Why aren't you know what I mean like what's
Because the mom jokes are decent and the dad jokes make everybody cringe.
I don't that's the thing. Really? I don't think there's a wide like funny epidemic of moms out there. I mean they're playful. Sure, but I don't recall any mom ever cracking jokes. Is that because men use humor as a deflection device more?
Maybe. I liked it when we first like met up today. Was better. You're just like, did you know that Himalayan salt is really giant fat?
So giant flesh, yeah. That's an interesting one. So they took it. You can watch them mine it out. These different layers. They took a big chunk of it next to a giant chunk of meat, and you just see the fat and meat, and it was very eerily similar.
You're saying they put it right next to the skin.
I mean, it was just a huge chunk of something that reminded me like instead of a little like you've gotten bacon that wasn't cut before, like a big chunk of bacon. So instead of it being like this big, like 6, 7 inches, the thing was like a foot and a half wide by like 2 feet. Like it was a huge chunk of meat. I don't know what the fuck they got it from. Yeah. And then haven't you seen all of the rock formations that look like giant faces and giant animals and shit? Like pareidolia my ass.
The weird thing. I was watching our Ninjas Are Butterflies friends.
Yes.
Well, they're not really our friends, but I was watching Ninjas Are Butterflies.
It's cool. Like,
yeah, no, I would totally hang out with them and talk about this. But they were talking about the dog-faced people in different cultures and how they would bark at each other and communicate in these written descriptions of when, Homo sapien or Homo erectus came across the dog-faced people and how they're legitimately documented not only in several places around the world, but in several different cultures in different eras of time. That just gave me the heebie-jeebies. There are dog-faced people out there that are going to eat us and use us as their like meat sacks or something, or domesticate us and say who's a good boy, and we'll never know because we don't speak their language.
I saw some information about that on another YouTuber. They brought up this was really cool. The original Saint Michael was a dog man.
Really?
Yeah. And they talk about, I believe the story went that he was like so ferocious and a fight or something, and he came across the river. Somehow, like some old man like asked for a something. I can't remember. Like maybe it was a right cross. Or something. No, that's a different story. I think what it is he was a fighter and someone he believed like Satan was the most powerful, so he like tried to serve Satan, and then one day like he was going across, and then someone did the sign of the cross, and whoever was like, oh God, and he's like, oh, so God's the most powerful then. So then he went to serve God or some shit. Something I don't remember, but they changed because there's actually the church. God damn it, that awesome glass that they have in there, the windows.
Stained glass?
Stained glass. There you go. There's some stained glass that's gonna actually be like the dog-headed man. Older stuff. There's older versions of in the Bible where Saint Michael was a dog man, dog-headed man. And I think it was Alexander as well who documented the dog-headed people. You know, Marco Polo
got it. Marco Polo did it. I believe this is all going off of memory, and memory is invaluable. So Marco Polo did. There was native cultures, the first people cultures down in Mexico who had hieroglyphs of dog-faced people as well. So it was kind of do 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 do.
So that's where not the first ones, but like the form of sign language. They would bark to each other, but how they communicate with us. I mean,
Sign language.
even back in the day, I think that's probably what, before we developed speech or, an idea, we saw off body language now. So, again, how much can you really communicate with just gestures?
Yeah.
Come, stop, go, like very easily.
Yeah, and when there's a need to stay silent because there's predators around or enemies around, how do people communicate? They don't clap. They don't clap. I was trying to make the format of me gesturing with my hands
Baseball signals.
for our podcast that's not very video friendly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Speaking of glass, did you see that one type of glass that has been banned because they believe that it was, as the study showed, they verified the existence of human auras by staining glass with a certain dye, and they could view through it. Yeah, that's trippy, man. That's so trippy.
I know it was that. I gotta go back and look, but there's that scientific study that they proved that auras exist.
Uh-huh. And one of the ways is they took this ink, this stain, and created a glass with it, and it allows the aura to be seen. Not only that, but it allows the human eye to view things that are not necessarily on the normal vision scale, like in the infrared spectrum and the UV spectrum as well. So I don't think it'd be like what is that? The mantis shrimp status, but I think it would definitely allude to something. Like the mantis shrimp has 6 or 7 cones, whereas humans only have 3 cones. Or the mantis shrimp only has 9 cones. 9 color cones in your eyeball to see.
Okay. I was like, okay, what are you talking about? Okay, so the shrimp can see more colors than we can?
Yes, it is speculated that the mantis shrimp can see things on the ultraviolet spectrum that we can't. Ooh. Because the amount of ocular cones that they have to perceive the colors. Like humans only have 3.
Yeah, it makes all that much you see like this much of the color spectrum, UV and ultraviolet and all that, and it's like fucking
Yeah.
we just know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that actually really boggles my mind is how purple doesn't exist according to physicists, I believe. I saw that this past week, dude. That was weird.
Did you say the blue or what?
No, it's just not green. It exists in our mind as not green, but it's not actually a color in the frequency of colors. Boggles my mind. Purple itself. Yeah.
See, that's just really interesting because what is the color that's been associated with royalty?
It is not green. But imagine if we actually had some kind of genetic mutation to where we could see what the mantis shrimp sees and open our world to that amount of color. How awesome our world would actually be. Like imagine just being able to view the aura of a tree.
Actually, on that, let's for a moment, there are a certain percentage of people that are colorblind. And there are certain percentage of people, I forget the term, that have the ability to perceive other senses, such as sound as colors. So I don't, with that being said, is it really an abnormality or they just have that ability to have more colors in their eyes or whatever? I mean, there's so many questions that I can't even formulate right now. That's interesting.
Right? It's super weird. Like my wife, she's one of those people that can see you know, they test you on Facebook and they give you these bullshit clickbait kind of things, and they're like, how many colors do you see? If you see 36 to 47, you're in this high percentage of color perceptor, um, whatever the heck it is. And if you see, you know, 20 to 36, you're normal, and if you see 1 to 20, you're colorblind. However that actually works out, you know. She's in the top tier of, like, she can designate what a color is. To me, purple's purple. There's no violet, magenta, any of that, like, shades of stuff. To me, it's purple. Purple is purple. You know, it's either a bright purple or a dark purple. That's all I see.
Let's put it to the perspective of auras. Could you imagine how much more your wife could see than you could? So yes, you see someone's a good person, right? Yes, you see someone's a bad person, but she could see the layers of that. She could see, you know, the difference between he's not gray, or, you know, again, he's not yellow per se. He's more of an orange, maybe, you know, more of a fucking tangerine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be really interesting. And yet, these are all things that we don't need to be receptive of, because nobody's taught, and this isn't nourished or nurtured or any of that kind of stuff, which I think is detrimental to our species overall. You know.
In between the, oh my god, the guy just did this with his bells. Someone had their baby sitting on a bed crying,
Okay.
and they fucking just tapped one of those Tibetan sound bowls.
Yeah.
And like within like 2 seconds, 3 or seconds, the baby went from
And passed out.
Passed out, yeah. Just a little ding.
Is that right? Vibration?
Dude, absolutely. And so just all the vibrations that we are being put out in the world versus what we could, should have been. You've seen all those pictures of when they went out and destroyed all the bells in the world and shit. And every time I see a bell tower in a church and just all these different old ass buildings, I just can't stop thinking about how we've gotten fucked at everything so much, from our knowledge of electricity and how we're electrical beings, to sound waves and sound frequency and just everything.
I actually found an experiment that I would like to try. Speaking of electricity and vibration and all that stuff, so there's a really simple thing that you can do with basically an old school CD and some copper wire, and you wrap the copper wire on the CD in a certain way, and you clip a meter to it, and it allegedly will just naturally absorb the current in the world. Allegedly. I think this would be a really cool experiment to throw up on a YouTube channel.
I've seen some of those things too.
Yeah. Well, the video that I saw, these kids did that, and then they did a whole solar panel with it. I don't know exactly what the measurements were, but it was like, you know, 4 feet by 2 feet or something like that, and they basically put them all in series, and then they had enough electricity, because they were like, it's a natural what are those things called on the top of people's houses? Huh? No, the photovoltaic systems that I can't really. Solar panel. That's it. I'm like, photovoltaic system, not solar panel.
You're not wrong.
There's my brain firing in different ways. But anyway, they basically made a giant solar panel out of CDs and a spool of copper wire. I think that would be cool to do as an experiment.
I remember way back in the day how cheap and easy solar technology was, and now because of all the greedy, George Carlin, I think he said it is, that there's just so much graft built into our fucking system. Like you literally take something that's, and then turn it into some shit that's just profiteering, gluttons, fucking everyone over.
Yeah, I don't.
Can you imagine with like, I remember back in the days we were making those with like aluminum, and like it was the cheapest shit. And yeah, you may have gotten only a little bit of electricity, but that's, you know, replicatable on a mass scale.
Yep. I remember some of the first ones that had steam. They were steam powered solar panels. You know, basically take a sheet of metal, half circle around a tube, and then that sheet sheet of metal would heat up the water and it would pass through the tube and hit a turbine or whatever the case may be. This whole working out is not working out while we podcast, you know? This whole grunts and groans and doing dips and all that fun stuff. But I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe we should just go back to being regular people, just discussing like the last sitcom, Friday night sitcom, and who's wearing what.
God no, I'd shoot you and jump off the building.
Come on, you don't want to discuss Haley Berry wearing Prada?
Only. No one will be unaliving themselves, folks. I apologize.
Oh, I was so not threatened. Like,
I apologize deeply for my soul. No, I only talked about it on a pod before. I think you did, but I mentioned it like after certain events, and I didn't realize how much people joke about it. Even myself, like I said, joke about it very often in my life.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I think it's just a coping mechanism to deal with the absolute tragedy that is. My 2 cents on that.
I understand.
But I was really like taken aback at the amount of. I'm just gonna come out and put on my tinfoil hat at the amount of gripping the Matrix will take and dig into you to bring you back to this drone like lifestyle.
Oh no, there's tentacles everywhere. You just gave me an amazing business idea.
Let's go. Let's take one of these business ideas and actually make a business out of it. How about that? Let's just try that.
Well, what is the image when you think tinfoil? What is the image that comes to your mind?
Like a cone of tinfoil.
Wrinkled looking,
yeah.
terrible looking, like hat, right?
Yeah.
What about? Really nice. Maybe it would just be tinfoil coated per se because of the structural capacity. But imagine if it had that.
A tinfoil cowboy hat. We didn't have to
You know what I'm saying?
stop
Seriously,
at
right?
tinfoil hats.
So again,
man.
exactly. So you could be just tinfoil, right? But again, it doesn't have to be some crazy homeless looking fucking ripped up.
Oh no, you could totally make a tinfoil hipster beanie for those who are inclined to wear that as their personal style.
Absolutely. When I want to wear my tinfoil hat, Wayne, it's gonna be stylish. You're gonna have the cowboy. I'll have the fedora. It's gonna be dope as fuck. And if there's already business out there, someone please link us up with that. If not, copyright idea right now. We're already looking for
all 3 of our subscribers. Okay. Elon Musk. Who did we say? Oh, Joe Rogan was our 1 subscriber. That's what we were speculating.
Yeah.
All right, all of Joe
Elon
Rogan.
Musk, that would be great too.
Hit this up.
They're just like, yeah, we were just like a handful of nobodies I listened to. Stealing material. Give us a shout out.
Not even that. They're looking at us like, man, look at where we were when we first started. And these guys are just starting now. Yeah. Let's push that like button. Like. And then Joe Rogan was like, I feel sorry for him. Subscribe.
I don't think it would be sorry. I think it would be more of a. It was like, for example, let's use sports analogies. There are people who are so into basketball, right?
Okay.
So into football,
yeah,
that they already have people that they know are going to be coming up in the high school range that they're already watching because they know.
Yeah, fair enough. They're watching the junior league going, oh man, this Michael Jordan, he's going to be somebody someday.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people are more excited to watch high school football and college football than to watch professional football.
I like the college sports. To tell you the honest truth, if I have to sit and watch sports, I will watch the collegiate level or the junior leagues more than I will watch the professional leagues, because those people already know that they've made it. They want to secure their, multi-year contracts and being able to play for multi-years, so they don't try as hard as somebody that does in the junior league or the collegiate level.
Yeah, because injury is a serious thing.
Yeah, yes it is. Gotta fix my fly real quick. Can't even breathe as we work out in the parks.
You're zipping it up, don't worry now. Zipping it up.
Yeah, zipping it up.
Everyone, something I'm really excited for when we play with them. Everyone's got these little soundboards and sound effects. That would have been awesome. Just once in a while, we're just dropping this fucking.
And
Wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up.
Coming up. a noise for the tinfoil hat going on.
Exactly. There you go.
Metal hitting flesh.
Something. There's some of the podcasts I love listening to where they're like, "Gotcha, bitch," or like, because they talk about like, all right, let's another dream scenario, and there's like that, yeah, dream music that comes on.
The drops. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Why not? Try it.
Come on, bro. Then we have to be able to have people pay money for us to read their comment.
For $1, I will listen to your opinion for 10 seconds.
No, Johnny Blitzo 57 wants us to say to our guests, "You're a fat slob" for $50. Got it. You pay $50 for that. Just
Nothing personal, but this Johnny Fatso says.
Well, I've seen some of that stuff too, where it's like ragging on people, and I'm like, man. I mean, it does sound really interesting because kind of taking it back a little bit to the old entertainment days. It's kind of like being able to just pay money all of a sudden to stop your favorite TV show and have one of the actors say something you want them to. Like, that would be fucking surreal, you know? Like.
But isn't that just advertising in general? That is literally advertising. Like, stop your regular program and interrupt it for 30 seconds and say these words.
It would be kind of funny if instead of like, let's just use Friends for example, instead of Chandler saying, you know, like, oh, instead of being nice, I would have said this. He would just been like, buy Coke!
No, dude, that's every single movie ever. Go back and watch the old school Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, I love
one from the 80s.
Awesome product placement in the fucking, they're just
like there's a Pepsi right there, just convenient.
The random bag of Doritos.
Yes, the random.
They're holding up the fucking like right to the.
Mikey walks in, just eating a bag of Doritos. You see like nacho cheese Doritos, orange. Mikey's eating it. What? Like as a kid, man, I'm like, I want Doritos because there's a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, product placement.
Pizza and Doritos.
You can't directly advertise to children, but subliminal messaging, the nag factor, that's all fine.
This isn't new. This is not new stuff. All right, Johnny Fatso, hit us up with $50. Let's stop the program. Oh, Blitzo. Sorry.
Body shame.
Sorry, I thought that was the person self-identifying.
I mean, it could have been, you know, whatever body dysmorphia. You know what I heard this new thing called life dysmorphia?
Oh, that's what I suffer from. Okay. That makes so much sense. I acknowledge. I identify as someone who suffers with life dysmorphia.
I was like, I completely agree with you. And then the other side of me was like, man, when can I make up some fucking
ism?
I'm just in my. Oh.
All right, we've been on a roll, so we got to blip.
Blip.
And we're back. We blipped. Can find anyone in the world. I forgot where we left off.
Flips and chips there. Flips and chips.
Flips and chips. Okay, so here's a crazy conspiracy thing that happened in my real life. So I went to Phoenix to move some furniture for the university that I worked for down from Phoenix to Tucson. And I know, right? That's bad. There we go. Anyway.
Moving fucking furniture is bad?
Yeah, it was. So anyway, we go to the quote-unquote Department of Education, wink, to move all of these files, cabinet, like shelving units kind of thing. And in this room is a punching bag and like two of those sparring dummies, you know what I'm talking about? They're kind of like punching bags, but they look like dudes.
Okay, yeah.
There's two of those. There's like
chiseled jaw, gray hair. Not jealous at all. Go ahead.
Yeah. And they have boxing gloves and all this other good stuff. And the guy who's in charge of it is legitimately like Sergeant Slaughter, but black. You know what I mean? Like he's cut. He's got the boots on and all that stuff. And I was all, what do you teach here? Combat? And he like, ha ha ha, no. That's my partner's equipment. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Your partner. He's all, yeah, my partner left 5 years ago to the Department of Labor. I'm like, you mean the CIA guy went to the FBI? Because this dude was not from the Department of Education. He was just way too damn fit, carried himself in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Department of Education. It's like part of Homeland Security and shit, or something.
Right.
Like
and
watching for drugs or something.
As we were leaving, I'm like, hey, dude, enjoy your combat training room. And he went, ha ha ha, sure. And I'm like, yeah.
Education. I mean,
yeah.
it's like saying I'm a scientist. You know what I mean? Like, okay, all right, what kind of scientist? I'm a scientist.
Yeah, I
Chemical fucking nuclear engineer. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
I didn't have time to press him because we were just like, all right, and I don't want to be here anymore, kind of a
Oh,
thing.
don't be like that, bro. Eventually, he's gonna make you sign an MDMA.
Yeah. Non-disclosure agreement. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to talk to anybody about this at all.
That he's just gonna come back in and be like,
I almost picked up one of those things too because he was trying to get rid of them. If I had a way to bring it home,
pick up
I
what?
punching bag.
We have
But-
a truck, bitch.
But this old lady from a different department than what I'm at, she's like, I will take it. I'm like, don't mess with her.
Okay.
Yeah. This old lady outworked all of us, man.
All right. Well, next time if there's not some like 70-year-old lady who makes you feel like a lazy asshole,
Dude.
yeah, we can borrow a truck and use it before.
Yeah, I was like, watch out for you. You train, huh? She's like, yeah, boom. She hits the dummy, and I was like, yeah, you
Like
do
fucking
train.
elbows him and like you're like, got it.
Yeah.
No one's stealing your purse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be like that when I'm fucking 60, 70, 80 years old.
For real. Like, what do you
Be
want?
that rich grandpa with the beard and shit all like.
Make your choices in life. Do you want to be ripped, or do you want somebody to rip your diaper open and change it for you?
You see that? There was a picture of like two 90-year-olds or 70-year-olds or whatever. One of them was in a wheelchair, like fucking IV or something. The other guy's just standing there all like,
Cut?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. What do you want to look like when you're fucking 70?
Life is hard and life sucks. You just get to choose your suck. That's my new motto. All right. Anyway, I'm out of stuff, dude. I know I was like, I texted you a few things like 2 weeks ago, and then I forgot that it was Mother's Day, and
That's all good.
took care of the women in my lives. Because how weird was that? Am I the only one that was creeped out by the fact that the guy who wrote the Gateway Project paper in 1983, a month before I was born, was literally had my name with a couple letters off? Like, what? That blew my mind away. And then you text me back, like, "Hey, how dare you do that?" And I was like, I was literally born the next month. The next month. What? What regresses in this
We're all
social
part of
experiment.
each other's Truman Show and we don't know it. like you ever wonder like that I'm a plant? Do you think that?
You wonder if you're a plant? Wouldn't you know if you're a plant?
Well, I mean, no, not me. About myself. I wonder about everyone else. Asking if people wonder that about
That's
me.
why I told you about that story about the guy from the Department of Education. I was like, there's no way that this guy is from the quote-unquote Department of Education, unless it's combat studies. You know?
I mean, that just sounds like, yeah, I'm in the Department of Education. So I was like, what's your specialty or what's your job? Anyway, do you have,
Yeah. So my coworker got the same vibe that I did, and was like, straight up asked him, like, how long did you serve? And the guy goes, I didn't serve at all. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
Because he was the kind of person who got enlisted and then there's no record.
Right? Yeah, he didn't serve. He stepped up to volunteer and disappeared.
Okay, well, some of that I'm sure they backtracked. It's kind of like in the movie Departed, when Leonardo DiCaprio becomes like an undercover agent. You seen it?
I don't watch
So he goes to the academy, and right as he goes to graduate, they fail him. But they do it like publicly in a way so it looks like he's failing as like a criminal, but they keep him on as an informant or like an undercover agent.
Yeah. Because it's that good at whatever he does.
Well, they just profiled him, and they kind of it's like the same thing with the military. Every intelligence, I mean, like regardless of whatever you want to do, there's certain things you're qualified to do, certain things you're not qualified, certain things that you are just more apt to be, available. Like he didn't want it, like he didn't want to either. He talks about how like I remember in the movie they're just like he's like you're living here with your mom, living here with your dad, dad's on the poor side, you're on the rich side, and Mark Wahlberg actually like it's like you have different accents, don't you? It's like you're fucking dropping your aunt and dad in fucking Bronx and you're good, but look at your family. You sure you don't wanna? You
sure you don't want to be an informant?
Oh, that's honestly, dude. I would that, or I would. It would be not too easy, but it would be really hard not to try to like. I'm not saying I'd be a dirty cop, but I'm just saying I can see how it would be easy for people to be nuts.
You know what I'm saying? I get you, and I've always wondered why the police force never recruited people who have a history of drugs. You know, it's like, hey, do you want to way out of your poverty and all that stuff? And most of them be like, no, if the smooches get stitches. But I mean, the right amount of money, everybody has a price, especially in this tough society.
Blackwater, water Blackwater. Gray water. it literally made me realize.
Alright, man, I think we're just gonna cut it here. So, my energy's slapping.
Folks, if you've never tried a bidet,
I got a story for you. Anyway, alright, we'll talk to you next week. Keep it weird.
very weird.